Welcome to an episode of Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. My name is Catherine, and this is my channel. Before we get started on this new case, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. I am now officially starting to put out more and more cases. I'm digging deep to find the most interesting cases out there, and hopefully you will be able to brainstorm and armchair detective this as well. Let's get started on today's case. Today's case is about a couple from Jupiter, Florida, Gretchen Anthony and her husband, David Anthony. They are residents of Jupiter, Florida, and they had filed for divorce on February 28th. Now, things got a little weird very quickly. The police became involved because they were alerted of some strange text messages sent by Gretchen. Gretchen's 51 years old, and she now is officially missing. The text message to a friend came on March 23rd, and it said, "I am at Jupiter Medical Center, and I am being treated for COVID-19. Then another person got a text from her on the 24th, saying that she was at Jupiter Medical Center and that she was being taken by the CDC because she had acute case of COVID-19. Well, COVID-19 will be acute. It's not a chronic illness. It's an acute. It's something like a virus. You get it, it goes away. Hopefully. Like a cold or like the flu or like, a kidney infection. It's acute, not chronic. Chronic is something that you have to treat for however long after probably the rest of your life, right? Like a chronic illness could be heart failure, kidney failure. So the police officer went to Gretchen's house, knocked on the door, and nobody answered. They also went over to Jupiter Medical Center and checked, and there was no record of her having been admitted there or being treated there, and no record through her insurance company that there was any claims about her being treated. They then found her blue Mini Cooper in the parking lot of that medical center, but no sign of Gretchen. Then the second witness told the police that he got a message on the 24th of March, and the message said that she was being taken to a CDC approved task force in Belgrade, where they sedated her. Jupiter Medical Center said, no, that's not protocol, and that she wasn't at the hospital. There's also no CDC in Belgrade. So it's a big fat lie. So the second witness, the one that said he got that message, had access to Gretchen's house. So he took the police there and went inside with the police, and she was not there. He also told the police that as of March 21st, he had noticed that she had turned off her location on her phone, and that was unlike her. And he also said the texts were not her, like the way she normally would speak. They sounded more like her husband, David. And he did show the police some older text messages so they could see the similarities with what Gretchen's husband would text versus what Gretchen would text. Then there were two other witnesses that also received suspicious text messages, and everybody now would be very concerned about Gretchen's well-being. One of them said that David Anthony, her husband, had issues and was worried that he maybe had done something to her. So now everybody's like, okay, no, this is weird. Something's going on here. So on March 25th, the police went to David Anthony's home. And when they got there, a woman answered the door. And she said that she hadn't seen David since the day before, which was March 24th, when he showed up to get his dog and told her he was moving to Costa Rica. So then they listed him as an endangered missing adult, and they did a ping on her cell phone and noticed that it was near Pensacola, Florida. And they found out that David was up there on March 25th in Pensacola. A clerk there told them that David tried to sell them a bag of women's jewelry and did provide the police with surveillance footage of him trying to sell this jewelry. It also showed in the surveillance footage his truck. And the clerk noticed that David had a specific ring, David Yurman ring, that likely belonged to his wife. On March 26th, one of the other witnesses let the police know that their mother had gotten a text from Gretchen's phone saying she was on a ventilator. Okay. You're sedated when you're on a ventilator. I'm on a ventilator. She said she was on a ventilator at Palms West Hospital, according to the arrest report. But when police went to that hospital, she wasn't there. Gretchen's supervisor boss told the police that she hadn't been at work. She was last at work on March 20th. And when they called their insurance company, like I said, to see if she was getting medical treatment, they confirmed there were no claims or authorizations on her policy. Because like I said, when you have a medical problem and you go in the hospital, your insurance company is notified right away. They're the ones that approve whether you get to stay, be admitted, what kind of treatment. Like the doctor prescribes the treatment, but there is clinical guidelines for what's considered, the doctor has to prove it by vital signs, by lab work, everything that it's necessary. And the insurance company sees all of that and gets all of that. So the insurance company is like, nope, no authorizations here, especially if somebody's going to be in the ICU on a ventilator. You can bet your butt that insurance company knows every step of the way what's going on. They're paying for it. They did discover she hadn't been to Jupiter Medical Center since 2008. And then police went back to Gretchen's house on March 26th. So the neighbor approached the police officers and said, "Are you here because of the attack that happened on Saturday morning?" The neighbor told them between 6 a.m. and 6:20 a.m., she heard a woman let out a blood-curdling scream that Saturday. She said they heard the woman yelling, "No, it hurts." The neighbor told them between 6 and 6:20 a.m., she heard a woman yell out a blood-curdling scream, yelling, "No, it hurts," from either the patio or garage of Gretchen's home. Police say another neighbor said he also heard the screams and saw David Anthony's truck there. Now remember, these people are going through divorce. Gosh, why wouldn't they call 911 when you're hearing somebody scream like that, though? I would. Wouldn't you? Lesson be learned, seriously. So this other neighbor that saw David Anthony's truck there said the bed of the truck was loaded up and covered with a tarp. He also noticed that on Monday morning, March 23rd, somebody was cleaning up something inside Gretchen's garage. He said there was water mixed with an unknown chemical coming out of the garage door. The door of the garage was closed. There was water with an unknown chemical coming out of the garage door. And the water was going with the chemical into the alley. And then another neighbor was able to give the police some surveillance video showing what appears to be his truck, David Anthony's truck, driving to and from the house around that time. Some of the neighbors were like, "This is shock. This is a quiet neighborhood. This is not normal here." Inside the home, police found 2 cleaners and a rag inside the kitchen. They also found towels in the washing machine, and the towels had a reddish substance on them. And it says it looked like blood, according to the arrest warrant. They said there was broken glass on the landing of the stairs and some what looked like blood droplets on the wall in the master bedroom. And according to the police report, the garage was locked and there was a broken key inside the garage door. there was a broken key inside the lock of the garage door. And there was nobody in the garage, but they noticed that it was wet. And there appeared to be large bleach stains in the garage floor. And those bleach stains led out to the driveway. Now, one of the other witnesses said they did have a conversation via text with David Anthony on March 25th. And when they asked if they had heard from, so this witness said, hey, have you heard from Gretchen? And David says, oh yeah, I ran into her randomly Saturday morning. Randomly in her garage while she's screaming. And then he says, oh yeah, she mentioned something about going to the beach. She mentioned something about going to the beach to ground herself because she wasn't feeling well. Then she told me I should plead insanity on some bogus police charges I've been dealing with. So David telling this lady, so there is some backstory to David, an arrest that he had recently before this, and we'll get to that too. So the witness told David, Gretchen texted me and said that she was being held by the CDC because of this coronavirus, and she has coronavirus. And then she said, something doesn't seem right. The police believe this conversation is really important. It places David Anthony with his wife the same time that people heard her screaming. So David Anthony saying, I saw her randomly Saturday morning, and this is important to the police because it places him with her on Saturday morning that's when the neighbors heard the screaming. So then they did a legal search on Gretchen's home on March 27th. A canine officer detected blood on the garage floor. And then a controlled sweep was also done on her car. And then they received confirmation that both David Anthony and Gretchen's cell phone numbers were hitting off a cell tower in Texas in the same geographical area. The detective said he received a phone call from David Anthony, or someone that said they were David Anthony on March 30th, and the call was recorded. But what was said in the call was redacted, so we don't know. And then the same day, someone from Pensacola called and said that they'd buy jewelry from David Anthony on March 25th. David told him that his mother or stepmother died of COVID-19, and the jewelry he was selling belonged to her. The man paid David with a check, and he later cashed that check. So on the 31st of March, David was arrested and found in Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Disturbing details have come to light in the disappearance of a Jupiter woman.
Her husband is being held in New Mexico right now, charged with her murder and awaiting extradition back to South Florida. CBS 12's Al Pefley joins us outside the couple's home in Jupiter.
New details of the case are spelled out in this arrest report. Police say Gretchen Anthony was last seen here at her Jupiter home March 20th. Police say they found blood inside the home, but so far there's no trace of Gretchen.
It's a shock. I mean, it's a really quiet neighborhood here. A lot of families live here.
Susie Clement lives with her family in the same Abacoa neighborhood as the victim, Gretchen Anthony, and her alleged killer, David Anthony. She can't believe what she's been hearing about the case, and she's not the only one.
This is very shocking. We're in a very safe, quiet neighborhood, and nothing like this ever happens here.
According to a just-released arrest report, a neighbor heard a woman's blood-curdling scream at about 6 in the morning, March 21st. It seemed to come from the Anthony's home. She also reportedly heard a woman yelling, "No, no, it hurts." Another neighbor saw David Anthony's pickup with a tarp covering something in the bed of the truck. And police found what appeared to be large bleach stains on the floor of the garage leading out toward the driveway. Even now, you can see white stains on the cement by the garage door. Police also found red-stained towels in the washing machine, broken glass, and bloodstains in the master bedroom. A witness told police she got a suspicious text message from Gretchen Anthony stating she had the COVID-19 virus and she was at Jupiter Medical Center. Police did find her car there, but no sign of Gretchen. Hospital parking lot surveillance video shows a man leaving the car there and walking away. Then a few days later, they got a ping on Gretchen's cell phone near Pensacola, where a jeweler reported a guy trying to sell a bag of women's jewelry.
It's shocking. It's shocking. It's so disturbing. You don't expect that in your neighborhood. I just keep thinking about the little girl.
According to a family friend, Gretchen has a 12-year-old daughter. Neighbor Susie Clement still hopes Gretchen will be found alive.
There's still hope.
There's still hope?
I guess, right? As long as they don't find the body, it's a possibility.
Gretchen Anthony filed for divorce in February, just 1 month before she disappeared. David Anthony has a long criminal history and is being held in New Mexico now, charged with second-degree murder and kidnapping. In Jupiter, Al Peffley, CBS 12 News.
At this, we could be facing a double.
So he's waiting to be extradited back to Florida. And they have not found Gretchen. So David Anthony's 43 years old, and they actually did arrest him for murder. They arrested him for second-degree murder and kidnapping. So back to before this happened, 5 days before Gretchen disappeared, David was arrested for violently resisting arrest. Police received a report about David. He was acting suspiciously, and he was approaching young girls. He was approaching young girls, like 15-year-old girls, near a public beach in Florida. And then he posted bail, and he was released 3 days later. So this is just a wacky one. I mean, really? So they still don't have Gretchen or her body, but they do believe that she was murdered from her husband. So thank God these criminals are so stupid. Like Letitia Stout, stupid. Thank God she's stupid and tells lies. Thank God this guy is stupid and makes text messages and then tells people things and can't keep his story straight. I mean, goodness, we don't want people like this running around. We're already doing enough damage, aren't they? Gosh, he's really changed his looks too. Look at these pictures of him. Like, what before? I mean, what happens to people? Like, seriously, what happens to people? Now, another article says that the actual dog was a cadaver dog and did smell dead body. And then they were able to see that there was blood in the garage. So this is why I believe I'm sure they think that this is why they have enough evidence to arrest him for murder. So they believe that she was killed on March 21st. They did track down David's Nissan Frontier pickup truck and searched it with the cadaver dog. And that did pick up the scent of a dead body. So we'll keep our eye on this story to see what happens, and hopefully they find her body. Don't know what he did with her. It'd be a miracle if she's alive, because it certainly doesn't sound like it. And that is the next case that I just wanted to let you know about. And of course, there's others in the works. And I will keep you posted on everything that we talk about here. And thank you so much for listening and watching. This has been an episode of Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Catherine. Welcome. Thank you. Please subscribe, like, ring the bell for notifications, and share. Thanks so much. Take care.